All right, we're down here in front with Jesse.
Some of the podcasts I've listened to recently, we had you on with Xavier Woods and with Zach Ryder, were some of the most entertaining podcasts I've heard for the stories and for the infighting and the backstories and stuff like that. Have you thought about getting into podcasting any more, like getting on the podcast one with Jericho and everything?
I know Jericho is a big fan of when we work together because for whatever reason, he brings out elements and a side of me that he never even, when we do those, he's always like, when we're done, he's always like, so what's the true story? And I always tell him, it doesn't matter what the true story is. This will live. Zach and I are going to go forward with the theme park podcast, and we're going to use all guests, like Randy Orton is going to be a guest, Joe Coffey is going to be a guest. We're going to use all guests from wrestling, and all walks and types of wrestling, and we're going to use our friends in the theme park industry. So that podcast will go on, and that's going to be difficult for Zach and I, because all we do is argue. That's it. He showed up this year at Halloween Horror Nights so drunk that he has a lazy eye when he drinks, and I'm fairly certain it was like looking at the Undertaker, like just the whites of his eyes, and I was like, bro, you pre-gamed way too hard. You're not going to remember any of the event. So I yelled at him about that. He's mad at me because I had to cancel the New Year's Disneyland trip, and he's threatening to replace me. But he doesn't have a replacement. And Woods and I are going to revisit the issues in high school because there were a couple more issues. Full disclosure, I did bully Woods in high school, and I am the villain in that tale. But his parents, to this day, think I'm a huge jerk, but I tried to make up for it. I tried.
We'll move on. If anyone has any questions before we move on, please raise your hand. With that said, I have to ask, Stardust, whose idea was Stardust? Was it your idea? Was it a mixture of many people? Where did Stardust, what was it born from?
I mean, it sounds silly, but I think Stardust was Stephanie McMahon's idea. And I think she wanted just a fresh coat of paint, literally, actually, for me. And it was a sincerity. Looking back, which is stupid to look back, we should always look forward, but looking back, I should have just always said no. Because it would have been the same as when I got to WWE, because somebody said, hey, here's your trunks, and they were polka dots. You know, that's him. That's what he did. And the same with Stardust. I was very happy when I was able to do whatever I wanted with Stardust, because then I didn't have to be like Diet Gold Dust. And that made me happy, and I was able to separate. But just the fact that we looked so much alike, it always kind of felt, no matter what, he was the original, he was the OG. And, if you guys have siblings, you don't ever want your brother to be better than you, you fight, so that was part of the appeal of, here's Dusty, and in all his glory, and his the type of person he was. Here's Goldust and the bizarreness. And then I was more of this straight-laced, I'd always kind of been a villain to not bleach blonde hair. So I was disappointed when we kind of melded together. Looking back, I should have said no, but I think it was Stephanie's idea. I think she meant it in a good way. It was just too easy, That'd be like me telling her, you should go do your dad's walk to the ring, that's his. That's not yours.
Would you say that your independent run now is very much, I'm not Stardust, I'm Cody Rhodes, I'm not Dusty, I'm not Dustin, I'm Cody Rhodes on myself?
Well, depends on where you go. Certain places you're not even allowed to say Rhodes, but I think we're okay here tonight.
No one tell on us.
No one tell. Yeah, it's very much, it's still me. I'm 31, so